Welcome back to Series A. Last time we made a half-decent character, probably for the first time in the entire series since we were the original character, Durrandon. There he is. Since him, I mean, even then, he wasn't incredible, huh? I mean, 13 diplomacy, 13 martial is okay, but our character now, 15 diplomacy. This is arguably the best character we've had. I know it's weird to say that, but he is only 16, and look at his stats. He's got his whole life ahead of him. He's got a whole life for us to screw him up. Let's see what we can do. Now, we have already started down the path to apply to the Citadel. We've already gone for the scholarship focus. We've already started building the observatory. All we've got to do is get one of those preliminary traits here so that we can actually get on board with this and then get all of the bonuses out of this one as well. So we need scholar, astronomer, cartographer, linguist, traveler, erudite, lunatic, or mystic in any order. Sounds like the Pokemon song, huh? Any of those would be absolutely fine, and that will allow us to get into the Citadel. Last time we got astronomer. I mean, that's pretty much guaranteed every single time from the scholarship focus, so we're always going to get that, so we're always going to be able to join the Citadel. 16 years old, going into that, I feel like we can buff up his stats, his skills, we can make specializations pretty effectively. We've got his whole life, and that's kind of rare for a CK2 character. For you, normally, you know, you play as an 80-year-old man, and he dies, and you end up playing as a 40-year-old kid, and then he dies, you end up playing as a... It's horrible, but this has given us basically a clean slate to go off, and that's obviously great news. Not only that, he's also good. Not only that, we've got a foreign tour we can go on, but we're actually too young for it, so we've got plenty of time to do whatever we feel like. I have to address this, because the amount of people who keep saying this, and I keep having to address them person by person. A, we're not giving Summerhall to the Valans yet, to the Valanis, to the Valanes, whatever, the Valyrian cadet house of House Durrandon, because there are still things we need to do with it. We are not finished with Summerhall. There are other secrets still left to uncover there. I'm trying not to spoil it, but people aren't listening to me when I say it. Secondly, we can't marry them off. They are lords. They have full control of their own dynasty at this stage. If I try and take his son and marry him off to ensure that the dynasty lives, guess what? I can't, because they won't accept offer from infidels. They are lords in their own right. When they were part of our court, that was fine. We were able to marry them off. But no, they have land. They get to decide what they do with their family members, and they won't accept us because we're completely different religions. So I cannot do anything with that house anymore. We've done what we can with them. The second they became landed, that was it. They were out of our hands, and I still think it was a good idea to land them because it generally guarantees that they will survive. They've got 8 living members. They came from nothing. That's fine. They're doing okay. Don't worry about it, okay? They're not going to disappear anytime soon. If they are on the verge of disappearing, I'll work some magic into the save game. Let's put it that way. But they're absolutely fine. The game is keeping them going. They've got means to keep going. They've got plenty of kids. No concerns there. So, oh, it is rumored that Great Warrior from the Distant East is currently passed through Storm's End. I've never heard about that. Oh, no. It's this event. Okay. Warning, very offensive event coming up. Distant Warrior from the East who's going to teach us how to buff up our personal combat. Shit. Okay. We've had this before. I always forget about this, and it's always hilarious every single time. Here you go. I hope you guys have, if you've seen the Karate Kid, this is about to happen. If you've ever seen, is it Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's? I might be wrong on that one. Playing the Japanese, basically a white actor wearing, like, Asian prosthetic makeup to make him look Japanese. He's wearing, like, big buck teeth. That's what this event reminds me of. It's just, like, super a little bit off-tone, I'm going to be honest. A little bit tonally dissonant with the rest of the game. As you watch some birds darting, this is not it, darting nimbly through the air, you find yourself wondering why this man cannot do the same. Sorry? There have been unsuccessful attempts to make flying contraptions in the past, but clearly those designs were all conceived by fools. Building a machine that can fly will help you improve your learning. I've never heard of this before. Okay. Now, I know in the base game you can get the Lunatic event where you try and fly, and it can end up... There's like a 10% chance you succeed with it and become a flying lord. I think this is just basically straight up going to get us killed. Sure, let's begin our research. This is the scholarship focus, then. I assume that's given us this. It must be a Game of Thrones thing that this is added to, because I don't remember it from the base game, besides getting Lunatic, and clearly we don't have Lunatic right now. Your quest to build a flying machine, you spend countless hours in dusty tomes and parchments in an effort to learn about the failed attempts to fly, lest you repeat their mistakes. You're finally at the point where you feel like you've learned how to begin construction of a prototype. This is something I've never seen before. And we're studying the stars. Either way, I think they're going to let us into the Citadel, which is obviously, you know, our kind of goal here, so either one seems fine by me. Tyrant, we've got Battle Opinion -10. That was because we imprisoned someone, and we threw them in, that was it, we threw them in the oubliette while we were in a regency, and we didn't have control over what could happen to prisoners. Went against the council weren't pleased, we're now a tyrant, but that should disappear very, very soon. It decays at a rate of 5 every 5 years, so I mean, maximum is going to be 10 years. That's called maths. But we also did that as a young kid. So in theory, it can't be much longer. I'd say like 7 years tops on that one. The prototype of your flying machine is nearing completion. It would be probably ill-advised to pilot the thing yourself when it's made in flight. Fortunately, you know of several promising candidates who could probably be persuaded to take this historic leap of faith. We could take Otis, the cook's overweight son, Meldrick, local dung gatherer, and Dog's body. The dog belonged to the blacksmith's daughter. Let's take the overweight cook's son. The cook's overweight son. Sorry, that's actually fairly important detail. You know what? Let's go for this because I think this is a great idea. We're putting the machine through its paces. We're going for the heaviest load we can find. Giggity. You find a suitably steep cliff from which you launch the maiden flight of your flying machine. Otis agrees to be strapped into the contraption, especially after you brine him with sweets. You give him a gentle push over the cliff and leave the rest to fate and the wind. He plummets down like a sack of stones. I've not seen this event before. Otis, move your leg if you're still alive. Is he fine? After carefully examining the wreckage of your flying machine, you conclude that the physique of Otis was simply too much for the delicate frame to bear. At any rate, the ungrateful boy now refuses to have anything to do with your machines. It looks as if you'll have to fly the next prototype yourself. I do this for the betterment of mankind. We're going to die, aren't we? Oh, God. Wait, what? With a new and improved flying machine, you return to the cliff. Otis waits below as you take the fateful plunge yourself this time. You close your eyes and leap into the air off the cliff. For a few seconds, you feel the wind rushing past your face until something soft breaks your fall. It's Otis. I was flying. Otis, did you see? Otis. Despite your efforts, it seems the secrets of flight will have to be uncovered by future generations. Your attempts may have been unsuccessful, but you've learned so much about the value of science and scholarly research, your learning has improved. Per ardua ad astra. That must be base game, because to my knowledge, they don't actually speak Latin in Westeros. I might be wrong on that one, though. Well, that was a weird event. I vaguely remember that from the past. I remember the Cook's Boy, but I think I've only ever had that event a maximum once before, because off the top of my head, I can't think of when that's ever happened. I don't think I've ever had it in a series, anyway. Because there are a lot of old CK2 events that they've just removed from the game, or hidden, or prevented from firing, like commented out. Like the classic, some of you guys might remember this. There's the CK2 Inn event, where you open an inn and you get to decide how much salt you put on the turnips, or whether or not what act you get to perform in your inn and things like that. When they added the Way of Life scholarship stuff, or when they added the Way of Life focuses, but like the stewardship one or the scholarship one in that case, they took a lot of those old events out. Maybe the Game of Thrones puts them back in. I'm not entirely sure why they took them out, because obviously, more events the better as far as I'm concerned. The past few weeks, Roderick has been teaching me to use the sword and lances. The instruction has been hard and stern, but my prowess has increased. Trained fighter. Wow. I don't know what happened to our racist Japanese caricature who's supposed to teach us, about learning to be strong like waterfall. And that's basically what the event is like. It's genuinely a little bit strange. But no, I can't imagine it's base game. I've got to be honest, I can't imagine Paradox to be that daring to put it in the base game. Well, there we go. I guess because we're still 16, I think the Maester can teach us until up to the age of 18. I mean, it's 5.65 and 15.65% chance yearly. I don't know if that counts because there are other children in our court. Maybe that would say 0 if we were incapable. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's go for... What do we think? War chest is only 700 gold. Realistically, we're not far off of that, but we do want to go on a foreign tour in a couple of years' time. Honorary title seems like a good idea. Becoming exalted monks and 4,000 prestige. We're actually already halfway there and we're 16 years of age. Oh my god. Let's go for that then. Let's become exalted monk. Because honestly, we're betrothed to a 6-year-old girl who's a genius, by the way, which is obviously incredible. She's closely related to us as well, which is a little bit of a concern. She's a cousin. But to be fair, Tywin Lannister married his cousin, so that's okay. Or it's within the realms of the law. It's maybe not okay so much in terms of genetics. What about... I mean, yeah, no, like I was about to say, I think we're probably becoming exalted before we're able to marry this girl, seeing as another, 12 years in the realms of Westeros. So we've got 12 years to gain 2,000 prestige. We're 16 and we've already got 2,000 prestige. I don't think he was getting much prestige up to the age of 4. I feel like we got this in the bag. So, let's wait a little bit longer and obviously go on our foreign tour next. I don't want to spend money on anything else besides the foreign tour, because there is a chance during your foreign tour you can get stars. You can get weapons, you can get armor, you can get people to join your court, you can find other such artifacts while we're out there. Only wait another year and then we'll dive off on that as quick as possible, whilst also doing our scholarly research. And this character is going to be great. I'm going to seriously drive this guy into being the best Durrandon who's ever lived. Worthy of the name Boris II, although Boris I was pretty garbage in hindsight. Guard stations built in Storm's End. You know when I said I wasn't going to spend any more money? I lied. I'm going to be honest. 200 heavy infantry plus 15% garrison size. That's pretty good. It's quite expensive. We need to make sure we've got 200 gold minimum, because certain tours cost that amount. Oh, God. He's dead. King John the Just died of what? Oh, he was assassinated. How strange. Might have been a member of somebody from Crackclaw Point at House Cloudless may have assassinated the king there, seeing as that was one of his most obvious enemies. King Desmond, his brother. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're doing there, Carl. Don't worry about it. All hail his grace Desmond of House Redfort, first of his name, king of the Andals, the Roynar, and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, protector of the realm. Long live this, well, obviously curse his name, behind whispering under our breath. We've got our fingers crossed as we're like, you know, long live the king and all that, but realistically, curse the boy. Now, this was a cool suggestion that I saw on not last episode, but the episode before last. They've got... No, they don't. What the fuck do you mean he's got the Blackfish's armor? Hold on, what? Surely you can't equip that because he's not a member of House Tully. You just have to be an adult. Oh, shit. Well, that's pretty cool. 2.5% morale defense. It's only tier 2, though. It's actually not much better than regular chainmail. What happened to all of the artifacts? Because somebody pointed out, when... So basically, when Aegon the Conqueror conquested all the different places, he took all their crowns. So, like, the Crown of Winter he kept. I believe... So the comment said that the Storm Crown exists. So, the Kings of the Storm had their own custom crown. It was like the one Robert Baratheon wears. That means somewhere out there in the world is that crown. Now, I'm trying to think of a good... Let's go for, like, Aegon... So it would be like Aegon's crown. That would be... maybe not Aegon, because there's obviously going to be a lot of characters called Aegon. We're looking for a rare artifact. This guy might have it. What is that? What am I looking at? Hello? When you wear so many hats, you become a hat. What is going on right there? His portrait is back there. You can see his nose. He's just got this hat stapled to his forehead. Here we go. So, Lord Jaime Cloudless apparently has all of the artifacts in the goddamn world. I would like some of these. Crown of Dawn. So there's obviously the Crown of Dawn there. Robert's Warhammer. So Robert Baratheon's Warhammer that he killed Rhaegar Targaryen with. Spoilers for Rhaegar Targaryen. Storm Crown. There it is. The Ancient Crown of the Durrandon Storm Kings. Some artifacts. So we need to be... a royal monarch. So it's pointless for us anyway until we get independence, but that is fairly important. He's also got the Hound's Helmet. Oh, cool. Counts as a ceremonial weapon. Not sure about that one, Chief. I guess it's so Sandor can equip that and a regular weapon. Falcon Crown, Kings of the Vale, Crown of the Rock is obviously the Westerlands. Aenys' crown is Crown of Aenys, Crown of Winter. Yeah, you get the gist here. Why has he somehow inherited the entire royal treasury, huh? Why has this guy got it all? I don't know, but I would like all of it myself. Jimmy the Black of Stokeworth. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's happened with this, huh? There is also Ironborn, Faith of the Seven. What is going on? Yeah, we would like that, but it's not worth the risk for now. County of Estormont is converted to R'hllor. Don't do this. Oh, man. Storm Gods are spreading. We've got Thornton. Oh, no, of course they are, because that was Summerhall, you big idiot. Speaking of which, we should be proselytizing. We are already. Nothing to worry about then. Okay. Oh. Chance of getting diligent. Oh, man. This could be great. Come on. Do it. Do it. I said you'd be the best character. Prove me right. You failure of a man. You big stupid idiot. Stephen Appleton. Incredible name. He will be a great Lord Commander. He's actually got 20 marshals, so he might not be too bad. Now, I should point out, we're playing in... the current date is 8415. It's obviously quite a while after Robert Baratheon died, but not that long. Robert Baratheon died... Where is he? Robert Baratheon died 200 years ago. I think the White Walkers are a little overdue, huh? They can turn up any time now. Kind of surprised they haven't turned up long before they have, unless they turned up and were just, like, annihilated immediately. Somebody, you know, did a sneak attack on the Night King and killed him, or something ridiculous like that. I wonder what happened then. I have no idea. My mission to improve your good name has been a success. During a visit to the court of Lord Durran of Summerfield, I seem to have managed to make him see what a blah, 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 blah. Thank you. You could have, however, just as an idea, got rid of my tyranny. That would have been nice. So, I was just about to mention this, actually, but they beat me to it. Magic Stark has, wasn't always a Stark there. He's from some distant house. He's a Karstark. So, the Karstarks inherited the north. The Karstarks are obviously distant relatives of the Starks anyway, so that's not a big deal. They've decided to become full-blown Starks and adopt the house arms of... I guess, I don't know what that would be, like Bran the Builder or some shit. Some ancient Torrhen Stark or something like that. Some ancient Stark before houses Karstark and Stark split, but just to make him more legitimate, he's called himself a proper Stark, because people don't get... Who gives a shit about the Karstarks, really? Then what else is going on in the world? Well, obviously we've got the Florence still in Highgarden, which kind of makes sense, and then we've got over in Castle Rock the House Westerling still. So actually the houses aren't too ridiculous. We've got the Vales, Aaron in the Vale. We've got Tully's in the Riverland still. Greyjoy still in control of... what appears to be the Greyjoy. Yeah, Ralph Greyjoy. Classic Greyjoy name there. Charge of the Iron Islands. What has he got that's rare? He's got a book and a ship. Benign. Who would call their... That doesn't seem very Ironborn to have the flagship Benign, of all things. Alright, how old are we? We are 17 years of age, 2 more months, and we are going off on a Mr. Worldwide foreign tour to see whatever the hell we can find out there, and hopefully make this guy, like I said before, into the world's greatest character. The research, you are or not, because we're slowly not being able to afford it here. The research you conduct in your observatory at night is proven deeply fascinating. You could push your studies further, but you need to purchase more equipment for it to be meaningful. Absolutely. 30 gold, well spent. This is going to get us one-way ticket to the Citadel, which is hopefully going to get us one-way ticket to getting those books, which is hopefully going to get us one-way ticket to a dragon. In fact, it's a multiple-way ticket. Split ticketing. My lord, my mission to improve your name is pointless. Get rid of the tyranny first, my guy, then we'll talk. I would kind of much prefer for him to do that. That's kind of why I was going for that one anyway. A pretty wench, she could be petty, I don't know, is throwing herself at you. 45% chance of getting lustful. Oh, come on. We've missed out on Diligent, we've missed out on Lustful. Bear that in mind, because I was singing this guy's praise, and I'm quickly thinking, I've lied to you and I've lied to myself, more importantly. 18 years of age. It's time to go. Goodbye, Westeros. We are going to check out the whole world. We could also write a book, which is actually a really great idea. It's only 44 gold. Boom. Where do we want to go? The Free Cities might be a good idea. Seems the best place to learn the tricks of the trade, to learn, you know, various intrigue from Bravos and who else worships intrigue-based things. I'm not entirely sure many places do. Volantis might be good for that because they have a quite complex political system. Or we could see the wondrous constructions of the slave cities of Gishgar. I feel like that's too detached. It wouldn't help out a Westerosi lord, would it? We can see the many cultures of the Jade Sea, the lands of the Sun Sea, the wonders made by man. That's quite a good tour. 100 gold, and it's all the most important sites in the Game of Thrones world. I think that's kind of my personal favourite because you go literally everywhere for that one. Oh, wow. My upcoming quest may be a good opportunity to learn and advance my knowledge. Perhaps I should dedicate my time to a particular field of knowledge. Linguist, diplomacy +2, learning +1, same trait opinion +10. Month prestige 0.15. Okay, so we could become a cunning linguist there. We've got draw maps, become a cartographer. Movement speed, diplomacy, learning, data supply +25 is fairly irrelevant, I'll be honest. Especially given where we are. If we were fighting up north, might be a little different. Same trait opinion +10, or we can speak to people with different cultures, with people, although we won't be able to understand them because we don't have a linguist trait. Traveller just gives learning +2, garbage. Actually, it's not too garbage, depending on where you're playing. Different religion, different culture penalty, -25% is actually very, very good if you're the King of the Iron Throne, although the different culture is irrelevant. The different religion is normally not too relevant either. For us, it's pretty good. I think I'm going to go with linguist, just because I feel like the stat boosts from that one are particularly good. Diplomacy +2, month prestige 0.15, same trait opinion +10. It's basically just +2 diplomacy +1 loaning. That one also gives them movement speed, which is nice as well. Oh, that's hard. That's why I'm going to go for... let's go cartographer. I don't know, I've sort of talked myself into it, because I imagine we are going to get a lot of warfare coming up, and honestly, the movement speed, we've got 12 martial, we're turning into a fairly okay martial. Pirates. Oh god, 3% chance we die. I just thought I'd bite the bullet on that one. 50 prestige, thank you. We should have built our own ship before we left as well. In fact, can we? Oh god, that ghost of a man has been excommunicated. What a shame. I don't know if we can in hindsight. It might be only like Ironborns or seafaring cultures that are allowed to do that. Lord Donald the Mild. What an offensive title. Like, that would be the most offensive... Oh, mild, yeah, because it's House Pickle Juice. They are generally the most mildest of people. this Pickle Juice is a tad mild, said no one. What should we do? Should we build the final... So what is the castle town? 442 gold. I'm thinking maybe we either save up for that one or we write our book. I mean, the books are going to be a little more immediately useful here. And also we're going for learning and we're trying to be a learned character and sort of expand our knowledge and worldly horizons. Maybe the book is a better idea. Let's go for... These are all shit. Let's go full-on diplomacy book. Let's do it. Let's buff this guy up to be the diplomacy king of the world. We are in Old Town to go and see the Citadel. I would assume we are on the wonders of Mantor after all. Well, you were stopped in Old Town. Some fighters approached you and their leader asked if you could join you on your travels. Sir Gas. He is garbage. More like Sir Gas without a G, am I right? Get out of here. Old Town. You stop scribbling in a scroll when the coachman calls out, "I." Sorry? You look up to see him pointing off in the distance, where a grand flame lights the night. Dawn rises, you can see the full facade of the structure, the flame just the pinnacle of the monument. It's Old Town, like I said. I'm not going to read, obviously, everything here, because it's a novel's worth of shit. It is a time for you to leave your current destination and move on to your next one. Onwards to Castle Black. We're going to the north. We're going to go see Jon Snow, except at this stage he'll be about 400 years old. I don't know, who was it again? Stephen Appleton, of course, the most fearsome of warriors and fearsome of names. Durran the Bad. Forming an alliance with Gerald the Young. Good. Everyone's got nicknames but us. We're going to be called, like, you know, Boris the Learned, or Boris the Genius, or Boris the Really Sexy with a nice beard, or something like that. As you are quietly having a drink in a local tavern, some of the other men make repeated jokes about how you look and the clothes you wear. Clearly in their drunken stupor, they do not understand you're a foreigner in their land. Hardly. To marvellous fun, eh, lads? Let's buy them a drink, and then move on with our life. Castle Black. You wake as the cart jostles. It's in a pothole in the northern road. I'm not going to do that. Fascinating. Very nice. Good. Let's leave. It's garbage here. There's nothing to see. Almost to Bravos. That's a bit more civilized, huh? Why would you ever go all the way to Castle Black when there's so many more places to see? Great, it's a big ice wall. I mean, what do you expect? You get a view of the snow from one side or the snow from the other. After many days at sea, you finally arrived at Bravos, where there's a big old statue of a man. This is what we're really here for, right? Things like this. Things like the stat buffs, the diplomacy, the artifacts. As I wandered through the streets, I heard some local traders talking with one another about setting up a trade route. We can try and make a good deal. We've got 5 stewardship. It's 50-50 either way. I mean, everything's 50-50. It either happens or it doesn't. And at this time, it didn't. The merchant gets frustrated. They always chose the old character for some reason. I think the event's a little bit offset there. The merchant gets frustrated. While you don't understand the foreign phrase used, you were sure it wasn't flattering. Needless to say, the deal failed. There's been the worst deal in the history of deals, believe me. Bravos. A great blast spreads through the cabin of the ship, causing you to leap from your slumber. You race out the deck to see the sun just begins to rise in the east. It's the Colossus of Rhodes. Oh, sorry, it's the... No, wait, hang on. It's the Titan of Bravos. That's what it actually is. It's to set the title of the... Oh, God. Brienne Durrandon lost her castle. Well, that's fine, because she's now in our court, right? No, she's not. I was going to say, hopefully she could join our court, at which point we could educate her, and then she'd like us a little bit more. Maybe we can still educate her. Hang on. Don't give up hope. Where is we? Not even on the list. Excuse me? Why? Oh, because we're away from court, I assume? Oh, well. Desmond Redfoot has been crowned king by High Septim the 35th, thus legitimizing his divine right to rule. You think they've given him some fancy names, huh? Like the Pope? But no, it's just High Septim 35. Your nightly studies of the movements of celestial bodies are increasing your knowledge of a great many things, such as... I mean, I imagine it would just be stars. It says a great many things, but it's only ever going to be stars, isn't it, if you're looking at stars at night. After many days at sea on the ship, you finally arrived in Old Volantis, where we are going to sack our chancellor. God damn it. Somebody suggested that the priests, if you remember last episode, our priests were just fired constantly for absolutely no reason. Somebody suggested that might have been a bug, because apparently it also happened in one of our previous series as well. I can't really say I remember. I probably blotted out out of frustration. Old Volantis, where they have elephants, unlike the show, which has no budget, so they can't have elephants, or anything else that is potentially non-human. No spoilers. It's time for you to leave your current location and move on to your next destination. Time is short and there's oh so much to see in the world. Like this man in his fancy armor. Vasarios, a saucy Valyrian. This is a cool guy. I've never played in Volantis, but like I was saying earlier, the government type's actually fairly complicated, so they work on a system called Triarchs. It's like a merchant republic, but rather on death, there's an election every certain amount of years, like 5 years, or something along those lines. And there are 2 different political parties. There's the Elephant versus the Tigers. I think the Tigers go for warfare and expansion and being a bit more conservative. Or you've got the liberal soy boys on the other end who want stupid liberal things like peace and economic prosperity. Am I right? After many days at sea, there's people outside. I've got my window open. After many days at sea, they can hear my political opinions about the Tigers. You finally arrived at the ruins of Croyan, but our records don't show from where. Why are we here? You're very excited and intrigued of what may be present here, like Stonemen and Death. Please don't be Stonemen and Death. Oh god, it's Stonemen and Death. I've not seen this one before. Croyan. The cart returns to the Arrow Straight Road as the driver's new customer settled in beside you. You nod at the elderly woman, then close your eyes. We go into the Sorrows, and that's, as I've talked about before, that is what basically Valyria was in the show. So it's sort of an abandoned room where they send all the stone men, they banish them up, all the people with grayscale from Valyria, or from Volantis, but specifically all the promises, basically. They send them up this river to the Sorrows, which is, like, here? Yeah, apparently they've colonized it at this point, so that's kind of cool. To Norvos. So Norvos is, this one up... Sorry, hang on, the game's just having a bit of a heart attack. Up here. This is where there are bearded priests. So the big guy in the show, in Dawn, with the axe, Ario Hota, was a bearded priest of Norvos. So these are like this crazy zealot sort of holy order that all marry their axes, inverted commas, even though nowadays in CK2, because they're a monastic feudal order, they just marry whoever the hell they want, because they're a monastic feudal order. We got lustful. Fine. To all the subjects of King Desmond, the inheritance of the lordship of Fort has been thrown into the question after the untimely death of the Lord Jarian of the Citadel. I give it to Gilbert Frey. Good, as if the phrase didn't have enough. And there it is, Norvos. Bugger me with a spear. That's all I needed to see from that. I took nothing else away from that besides an incredible expression I'm going to use in RimWorld all the time. It's time for you to leave your current location and move on to Veus Quayo. Man, this one goes on for fucking ever, huh? We haven't really gained much out of it yet. In fact, we've pissed off a dude who swore at us in Valyrian, because he was in Bravos, and that was it. Be kind of a shame if we spent 100 gold on garbage. These savages show no regard for the Storm God. Why would they? How racist. Almost to Karth? We can get anything out of this, or was it a waste of time? Diligent? Nothing. We didn't get stressed, though, so you know what? Every cloud. What can we do here? We can upgrade the holding of what exactly? Oh, Black Bog. I forgot we have that in Rainwood. Yeah, we're not too concerned about that one. We're going to visit our good friend, Pureborn Dybasion Karmarth, which is another good name for Rimwood. Here we go. Right, this is what we're after. During our travels through Karth, this man approaches us who wants to offer to craft us a weapon or armor. Seeing as we got a Valyrian steel mace, which is still just so cool, let's take a set of strong armor. We're going to make ourselves a set of Karthine armor. Red waste indeed, damnable sand, too coarse and rough. It's irritating, gets everywhere, fascinating. So fine set of armor, quality 2 months, prestige, personal combat skill plus 10. That's quite nice for 50 gold, and it's one of the only ways you can get it's going on these foreign tours, short of obviously calling a smith to court, but that's very expensive. Way cheaper to go spend the 100 gold on the foreign tour and just risk never getting it than spending the however much the scaled wealth is will be with the smith. Onwards to Gis. To Gis. It's this area, essentially. You're going to see some big old pyramids, I would assume, and then hopefully we're going home soon so we can actually take our wife as our warden? No, that's not right. Our ward. I mean, shorten it. We're good. Interesting place. Mounted by dragons. We need to come back here anyway. We've got our dragon tour. Take our wife as our ward. That would allow us to obviously educate her and gain the opinion buff from that. You know, happy with upbringing plus whatever. That would be kind of useful for, you know, kids and whatnot if she likes a bit more. Oh, God. 10% chance of dying. So on this journey, we've had a cumulative 15% chance to die, which is obviously not how that works, because we would have also had a cumulative something like 200% chance of survival with that. What an amazing journey. We're home. Why end it there? What a garbage place to end the tour on. But hey, came back. We got a nice set of armor. I don't think we got anything out of it. There was a chance we could learn how to get the... Wait, what happened to our linguist trait? Is that going to fire now? I hope we actually got something out of that. We got What is Earth giving us... We've got shit tons of learning. Unfortunately... We didn't get... Oh, it was cartographer we were trying to get. Maybe we failed with the event. Maybe there was something else that was supposed to happen during our trip away. Maybe it fires when we get home. Or maybe when we're not busy, that's more likely. We're having a feast. We've just got back. Maybe now it'll say, you did a good job writing maps and something. Whenever you're ready. Funding is not an issue for our book, by the way. It really isn't. We should probably just save it for the castle town at this point, right? It was really... I think it was an okay idea all those episodes ago. Obviously, sinking money straight into building up Storm's End, because it's sort of kept us at a nice, consistent level of money. What we can also do is turn off auto-stop plots and start triggering people back in prison, making a bunch of enemies, and then getting ourselves killed at the ripe old age of 25. Attempt to hatch Dragon Egg. No, we're never going to do that. Or we will do that, but obviously not right now. Ooh... You are sure you've made a breakthrough in your studies? Yes, it cannot be otherwise. The Earth is round and it revolves around the sun. Madness. This is stupid talk. Everybody knows the world is flat. I can see that with my eyes. There's literally a border. This is where the world ends. You can't disprove that. I must publish my findings, at which point everybody hates us being a heretic for 5 years. Like I said, get assassinated at the ripe old age of 25, which it actually would be. Continue my studies in secret, just gain astronomer. What does that do for us? Learning plus 2, it's garbage. Let's take it. Now, that was never going to be what we really wanted to do that whole event for. That was just a means to an end. And the end of it, of course, joining the Citadel. Da-da-da, welcome. Okay, so we are now a novice, which gives us what exactly? Nothing. Gives us nothing. Acolyte is when we can start... Is that when we can start doing our studies? Maybe this time they'll offer us to study for links, but I think we actually get up to Acolyte before we do anything good. Hey, there we go. It wants to go to Old Town and study for a link. So, what is it? 2 of them allows us to pick specialization, right? Oh, you have to be a maester. Shit. Okay. Doesn't matter then, because we actually have to be a maester to be able to... Or we have to be online to get to the rank of maester. We can, however, make horoscopes, invite to Stargaze, inquire on grades, be Rook of the Poppy, and write theorem paper. Why do this, then? Hang on. Have I just been going insane? What can we get out of this in that case? We're going to go for castles and architecture, because the links give learning, right? Oh, but if the links give learning and they're permanent, we could leave the Citadel and go and join the Alchemist Guild and actually gain a real big bonus. We would get through that society really quickly because of our work in the Citadel. There is an argument that maybe we could have just stuck with the Alchemist Guild to start off with, but you need to be fire obsessed or lunatic or something to be able to join those guys. We might also get Erudite out of this, perhaps, maybe, fingers crossed. I'm not entirely sure. My lord, you are still a tyrant, but I've made other people like you. I thought he made himself like us then. Gowan, oh, our cousin. How have we, House Corndog? Oh, that's kind of cool. That's a nice little marriage. Because, of course, we married everybody off with inside. Okay. This is where that's going to start paying off. Because we've got lots of people who are related to us, basically. Which is obviously going to give us bonus to opinion. But also packs and things like that as well. So that's kind of nice. What have we got here? Tyrant. What we should do. Big brain idea. Brothers, uncles, whatever we've got. Distant cousins who happen to be male, marry them off matrilineally so that the Storm God bloodline is passed down, because then we'll get the both Storm God bonus with other potential High Lords. That would be big. Glad my studies went well. Hey, okay, so what do we get out of this then? If it's just a chain, we're going to leave this immediately. It just gives us monthly prestige. Oh god, what a waste of time that whole thing was then. I'd like to join the Pyro Guild in that case, the Alchemist Guild. Definitely not Pyromancers. Mystic, Scholar, Metallurgist, Fire Obsessed, Lunatic, or Erudite. How the hell are we going to get any of those now? I'm not sure we can. Stick with this scholarship focus, but basically the Citadel is garbage. We're an Acolyte, great, which gives us learning +1, lets us write a theorem paper. Maybe eventually we get Erudite if we do that enough. I don't remember. We'll stick with it for a while, because obviously we can't join the Alchemist Guild yet, so there's no reason to leave the Citadel. There's no other society we can join. So we might as well still stay with this to get bonuses out of it, but I didn't realize you had to be a Maester to choose specialization. But in hindsight, it's called Choose Maester Specialization, so perhaps I'm an idiot. In fact, why would they ever add this to the game? Because you can't ever get that as a player. Rulers cannot become full Maesters. So why would they ever add that? Because players can't ever do that anyway. You can't play as an unlanded character, right? Or am I misunderstanding something? Maybe you can be the... Oh, maybe if the Citadel is a playable... Wait, but what happens if the Citadel gets a landed title? What if they become a Duke or something? Then what? So then the Archmaester can't become a Maester? I don't know. Let's not worry about it. It's obviously better to be with this and have done everything we have to be part of our society, better than to not have anything and get no bonuses from anything ever. Alright, sweet. So, we've become an astronomer. We went on a world tour, which is obviously fantastic. This character is getting better and better. We got Lustful, which was probably the best thing we've got out of that whole thing, but of course, a very fancy set of armor. Send me some names for the armor. I think we need a cool name for it rather than just fine set of armor. We need, like, Storm Protection, Storm Shelter, Hurricane, I don't know. Look, do you know what happens to a Durrandon when he's hit by lightning? Nothing. So he's wearing a fancy set of armor, which you guys are going to name. Thank you for watching. It's been a weird episode, huh? Let's give a shout out to the people, the weirdest of all. The insane top tier level patrons. Thank you to Alpha Scuff, Asuna Kirito, Atmosis, Average Gamer 419, Baniel, Sidini, Conspiracy, Crazy Pack, Crosis, Danny Good, Donald, Eric B, Escape, Facunda Vasquez, Fungus King, Harik, Haydog, Jimbo, Josh Lindeen Tesla, Justin Wallace, Caden Carlton, Michael Mullen, Necrophilin, Pelvis Presley, Seth All the Sweet, Toby Cruz, Tom Terror 18, Backus Backus, and Zazzy 7011. Thank you all for your support. The insane tier levels on Patreon. It is most appreciated. Big thank you for keeping the channel alive. And a shout out as well to Asaro, Adam Person, Andrew Wilson, Betimus Max, Sidini, Chris, David Van Diepen, Don, Dunconi2 and 7, Fraser Brennan, Gabriel Faulkner, Gabriel Van Ders, Gaz, GDWK Run, Genji Zerko, Gray, Haji Dumar, Hancock, Aaron McGowan, Icy the Great, Israel, Jay Lara, James Barnes, Jordan DeVries, John Holiday, Jordan Campbell, Joseph Beard, Justin Plock, Justin Walters, Llewellyn Thomas, Matthew, Nathan Flores, Nathaniel Lindbergh, Nick, Noah Gallimore, Nixie, Pan Samu, Panther Pill, Smirtworm, The Insane Pickle, Venom Meow, Will Wade, Wolfie, and CK2. Thank you for your support.